Stephanie Milky here, aka Keto Mom, or often called mom, sis, Steffi, daughter, wife, aunt, and friend. Just like many of you, I carry a lot of titles. My favorite title is mom. I should probably say wife, which takes a lot of my time. But let's be honest, if you want to do something and do it well, you will make the time for it. Commitment is hard because we find ourselves overcommitted, but when you practice prioritizing, you will find out what is actually important and what you can let go. With the Keto Mom podcast, you will learn together how to manage our time, commit to the most important things in life, and I will equip you with the tools you need to feel qualified each step of the way. My name is Stephanie Milky, and welcome to the Keto Mom Secrets podcast. Good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Keto Mom page. We're going to dive into 9 steps of goal setting. But as you're tuning in, I want to know, are you eating breakfast or intermittent fasting? There's hundreds of people that are breaking their 60-hour fast this morning. So we got to coach a whole bunch of people that did a 60-hour keto reboot currently, and today is their last day. So they get to dive in and drink their keto protein. They get to dive in and drink their, or eat food. So I want to know, where are you tuning in from? And do you normally eat breakfast? Do you normally eat breakfast or do you intermittent fast? I would love to know. Here's some really great breakfast options for you. I often have people go, what can I eat for breakfast? Either quickly on the go, or just in general, if I'm doing carb conscious, low carb keto. And I always say, you need to get yourself an air fryer, especially if you need to get out of the house quickly. Anybody? Air fryers are so simple, it helps your morning. Throw some sausage in the air fryer as you're going and doing your makeup or getting kids ready to get out the door. Whether you pre-make like egg cups or things like that. I love breakfast. I intermittent fast probably 3 to 4 days a week, but I do love breakfast. So are you eating breakfast or are you intermittent fasting? And then we're gonna go through this really quickly, 9 steps to goal setting to start off your morning, to give you some concepts or ideas of how to get going. I feel like once kids have been back in school, people's schedules have slowed down. Good morning, everybody. We're almost like at a reset, right? So in our business, we are resetting our business. So we've had some incredible conversations with our company, with our team. So we are doing a reset on our business area of our life. And I also have a lot of people going, I just need to reset my food, reset my mindset. We are slowing down and yet not, because now we have sports and fall festivals. And so it's really just like this, all right, we're making a shift. We're making a turn. Fall is here. I'm going to reset so that I'm not getting to the end of the year and having to restart over. Does that make sense? Maybe you let off the brake, or maybe you let off on your food. That didn't make sense. Maybe you just kind of relax or slacked a little bit in certain areas of your life, and now it's time to reset. Good morning, good morning. All right, do you eat breakfast or intermittent fast? If you eat breakfast, what is your low carb, carb conscious breakfast option that you eat? I'd love for you to share with me below. All right, I'm gonna go through these real quick because I have had a lot of people going, yesterday we talked about, let me find the title of it. It was really the concept of, what holds you, like 4 reasons that hold you back from goal setting or accomplishing your goals, right? The question came at me yesterday, I don't know how to set goals. I don't know even where to start. And so I'm gonna give you some very basic concepts. Good morning. Good morning, Kimberly. Good morning, Samantha. If you have questions, you can ask your questions below. But today I'm going to go over just 9 steps of helping setting goals. So you might have to, actually, you know what I'll do? When I'm done with this, I will type up the 9 steps and I'll put them in the header of this video and in the comments so that you can go back and you don't have to re-listen to this. And then you can walk yourself through actual goal setting, because that's what people have been messaging me about. I need to goal set. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to be effective. I've set goals in the past and they just didn't come to fruition. They didn't happen. So here we go. Are you ready? This is the book. It's a really small book by Zig Ziglar. It's just called Goals. He actually asks a ton of great questions if you want a simple book to get started on that. So, oh, I love it, Becky. I've had hat for years and years. All right, number 1, write down your goals. This is for real. I want you to pay attention to the 9 steps. Some I'll go into more detail. Some I'll just walk through in general. It says step 1, one thing you need to do is write down everything that you want to do or you want to have. I'm not saying you're going to get all of those. This is like a brainstorm, right? Write down everything you want to do and everything you want to have. That's number 1. The understanding behind that is when you write it down, it makes you get more concentrated, which moves you into writing. It like puts your writing and your goals into your subconscious. So number 1, we're going to write it down. Number 2, you're going to ask why. The real task in finding out what you really want, it's what will make a positive difference in your life and why do you want it. So you're going to write down everything that you want and everything that you want to achieve, right? Your goals and the things you want. What do you want to do? What do you want? And then right next to that goal or what you want or something that you want to do, you're going to write down why I want it. Now here's the kicker. He says number 3 is an elimination. You can't always have everything that you want or something that you want to do or have or be. He goes, but you need to, so for example, he wrote down a huge paragraph, look at, and he goes, these are all of the things that I want to do, the things that I want to be, the things that I want to have. So it's a long paragraph. It was things like, I want to go to Bible college. I want to provide for my family. I want to do family seminars. I want to have a daily radio podcast. Like he wrote down everything he wanted to do, be, have. I want to do, I want to be, I want to have. And then he said, now I need to be realistic. So I wrote down everything I want to do, be, have. I wrote down the why. And if it's longer than 1 sentence or you don't actually know why, then we're going to talk about eliminating some of the things, at least for right now. He goes, I'm not trying to be negative. I want to be realistic. He goes, I honestly don't think I can do all of these things and do them well. So he goes, number 4 is balance, right? So we wrote down everything we want to do or be or have. We wrote down a 1-sentence why. Then he goes, we're going to eliminate some of those things after you have everything written down because we want to have some type of balance. He goes, we have different areas in our life. I've talked about this on the page before, right? We talk about our physical health, our mental health, our spiritual health, our social, financial, career, and family. And he goes, if every single goal that you want to accomplish is based on your physical health, which some of you are really focused on right now, you might find other areas slipping away. So there really is an awareness of I'm going to set goals. I need to figure out why I want to do it. Some things might not be a no forever, but right now it's not. I'm going to put those on the extra piece of paper to keep them in front of me for the future, and I'm going to focus on certain goals, right? You have all of these goals. I've already brainstormed all of them. It doesn't mean not ever. It means some of them might not happen right now. When you put too much emphasis on just 1 or 2 areas of your life, you become warped. For example, you might have a higher standard of living, but where would you qualify? Where's your quality of life? He just talks about you need to make sure you ask these questions. Number 1, will reaching this goal make me happy? Will reaching this goal make me healthy? Will reaching this goal make me more prosperous? Will reaching this goal make me more secure? Will reaching this goal make me more friends? Will reaching this goal bring me peace of mind? And if you have a family, will reaching this goal improve my family relationships? If you cannot answer yes to at least one of these questions, you need to strike that off your list. He goes, don't black it out. That goal might come later. But you need to make sure that it's not even just for you, but the people that are in your environment and in your life, right? Make sense? Number 5 was explore. It was asking those questions. Will this goal help me either be happier, healthier, prosperous, secure, more friends, peace of mind, and improve my relationships with my family? Number 6 is stretch. Is it a stretching goal? And he shares a story about a boxer and his story. He also shared a story about different people he has met along the way as he's helping people. He coaches people on goals. For example, he said, I met a young boy at one of my seminars. He came up to me and he weighed about 210 pounds and he was like 5'9", and this kid was like, I'm going to be the heavyweight champion of the world. And Zig Ziglar said, all right, do you have any past experience with fighting and boxing? Do you know what you're doing? And the kid said, well, no, not kid. It was like a teen, young adult. He said, no, but I wrestled my brother-in-law the other day in our backyard and everybody thought I was so good. And so he's just coming to reality. He's like, you don't have any experience. Not that you can't in the future, right? But there are things that you want to stretch for. Now, would it make sense for this? It's so hard because how many of you have said to your kids, you can do whatever you want. The sky is the limit. Yeah, if you want that, you can achieve it. And maybe you've got like a 5'1", not super coordinated teen who's like, I want to be an NBA basketball player. Not saying that it can't happen. He's very much just going, there's also an aspect of you want to stretch for goals, but you don't want to put it so far out there that you get so frustrated that it's never going to happen. So another man came up to him, had a job working at, let's say, a restaurant, making $30,000 a year. It was middle of the year, July, and he said, I want to make $1 million. I'm going to make $1 million by the end of the year. And Zig Ziglar's like, all right, what are your goals? What are you doing? How are you going to get there? Let's reverse engineer it. There was no concept of the $1 million. He just said, I'm going to make $1 million. He's like, you don't want to set something out so far that you get so frustrated that it never happens. So let's bring it here. I want to lose 100 pounds. I just got this message the other day. I want to lose 60 pounds by Christmas. Is it accomplished? Can I do it? That was the question I got. And I said, well, by the end of the year, you've got 4 months, not even. September is halfway done, right? October, November, December. You've got 3 months, 90 days, plus a couple extra in September. Can you physically lose 60 pounds in 90 days? I'm not saying that you can't, but if you get to the end of the year and you didn't accomplish that, are you going to get more frustrated or more inspired? That's what he's saying. Does that make sense? Like, we're going to set goals and you want it to stretch you, but you don't want it to be so far out there that you're going to get so frustrated you're going to give up. He explains it better in the book, but that's the concept. Number 7 is negativity check. And so he goes, a goal can be negative if it is completely out of your field of interest or expertise. Same concept, right? I want to go be a country singer, but I have no concept. I'm not going to move to Nashville. I've got kids here, right? Does that make sense? If you have to depend on luck in order to get where you want to go, put it on the maybe someday list, but not what I'm going to focus on right now. We're going to keep the main thing the main thing. And number 8, ask 5 questions. Is it really my goal, or is it a goal somebody had for you? Maybe some of you are running after goals that somebody spoke over you, your parents, somebody else, a boss, Annie, a boss, but it wasn't actually your goal. So you need to ask yourself, is this my goal? Is this somebody else's goal for me? Is this goal morally right and fair to everyone around me, right? Will this goal take me closer or further away from my major objective? Can I emotionally commit myself to starting and finishing? Starting and finishing. It's super important. A lot of people start, few people finish. Can I see myself reaching this goal? And number 9, it's choose your top 4. Most people can only commit and give complete effort to about 4 goals at a time. Because you need to take inventory of all the things you want to do, have, ask the why. We're going to eliminate some things until later. We're going to choose your top 4 that you wrote down, and we're going to go after them. He goes, what are the benefits of me reaching the goal? That's what you need to look at. The most important thing you can do in goal setting is going, what is it for me? Not in a selfish way, but what are the things I'm going to accomplish? And here's exactly what I want to read to you. He goes, he was talking about fat loss. He needed to lose some fat. He needed to lose some weight. He goes, first of all, the odds are stronger that I'm going to look better. So that's a benefit. The second benefit is everything else being equal, I will live longer. The third is I will have more energy. I will feel better. The fourth is I will undoubtedly be sick less. Historically speaking, those benefits work out to be 100% true, except when I had and then he tells his personal stories. So his goal was fat loss. Your goal is fat loss. Is it going to benefit you? Is it helpful to you? Is it going to prolong your life? Is it going to help everybody around you? 100%, right? Does it need to be your sole focus? No, because if you know, and if you've watched me on here at any point in time, I've talked about if everything that you're doing is focused on your physical health, but all of a sudden your financial health falls apart, your relationships fall apart, your work falls apart, there are other things in your life you still need to focus on, not just you and your fat loss, right? That's why it says 4 different goals of things you can accomplish, not 20. We're going to keep the list as you focus on in the future. And then he says, what are the obstacles and mountains I'm going to have to climb in order to reach those goals? What do I have to do to lose the weight? And so he just writes those things down. He goes, one obstacle is I liked food. I didn't have a structured schedule. I was super busy. So then, I've got my goal, and then he goes, what are the things I foresee? I love food. I love to do what did he say? It was so funny. I'm on the seafood diet. I see it. I eat it. So then he had to find people around him to help him. He goes, I needed to tell my wife my goals. I needed to find somebody to help me meal plan. I needed to not run out after I did a seminar or a speech and binge on food. So he was like, in order for me to reach this, I need to set up boundaries. I need to set up realistic expectations. And that's what he did. Those are the 9 steps. And in general, oftentimes we want all of this just to fall into place. I wrote out my goals. I know what I want. Bam. When in reality, he was like, this could take weeks for you to actually get down to figure out what you want, to write out exactly the steps that you want to do. Goal setting we could talk about vision boards. You need to give this some time and some effort to really figure out what you want, to write out, to answer the questions, and then to go after what you want, right? And so what if you gave it a couple weeks and you actually truly figured it out and you told the people that were closest to you, hey, I'm taking 90 days. I talked about this in the beginning of September. We had 120 days to the end of the year. What are you going to do in the 120 days? Or are you going to get to January 1st and have to start over again? Now we're closer to 90 days, right? We're almost done with September. So let's say you've got 90 days. What are you going to do in these 90 days that are going to move you forward so that when you get to January, you're not starting over? It could be as simple as taking the rest of this month, actually figuring out your goals. What do you want? Figuring out the obstacles you're going to have to overcome, finding people to hold you accountable, and 90 days can shift everything for you by next year. Are you going to do it? Most of you just want to lose some fat. So let's just talk about fat loss. If you write out those goals, the obstacles you foresee, the obstacles might be my time management. I don't pack my lunches. I go on too many outings. I drink too much alcohol, whatever that is for you. And then you're going to have to find either reasons to get it out of the house, not to go certain places, your big enough why, to not grab those foods. 90 days can shift a lot in your mindset and in your weight so that you are not like 98% of people starting over again in 90 days. Don't be that person. Start right now. I'll give you one more example of food. So he said he loved sweets. He loved dessert. And oftentimes when we eliminate something and say we're not going to have it forever and ever, it doesn't work so well. So what he did is he said every Sunday was my dessert day. Sunday was I'm going to have my favorite ice cream day. And we've got lots of holidays coming up, right? So anytime you could say, well, I'm going to give this a 90-day run. And guess what? There's a holiday in each of these months coming up. You could go, on that holiday, I'm going to enjoy myself with my favorite dessert. Or we have people over every Sunday, so maybe Sundays are the day that I'm going to allow myself something that I love, so the rest of the week I stay on track. So whatever it is, because I don't want to hear that, well, I've got Thanksgiving and Christmas and all of these parties. Well, then put that in your mindset. I'm going to do really great, and then I'm going to enjoy myself. Like, we're hosting Thanksgiving this year. My sister-in-law makes the most incredible desserts. That will be my day of eating those desserts. I don't need to eat it before. I don't need to eat it after. But what if I said on Thanksgiving, on that day, when my sister-in-law comes, I'm going to enjoy myself and not beat myself up because I've done really great up until then. Or on Sundays, I'm going to enjoy our friends and family, and I'm going to enjoy something with my kids. I'm just letting you understand, oftentimes when people eliminate something fully, it doesn't go well. I often hear people saying, even like alcohol. Alcohol is a big deal. in the amount of how much it affects your fat loss and how many people just don't want to give it up. So then you have to get resourceful. We are not drinkers, so I'm not going to give you advice of low carb or no sugar alcohols. You're going to have to do your research, but that actually hinders most people's fat loss. Just write what you want down. Here's the great book. Take some time. You can take the rest of this month, figure out what you want, be super specific, and then go after it for 90 days, and you will realize you've set yourself up above most people, and next year will be incredible for you. So, all right, that's the book we're going through. Thanks for tuning in. Message me with any questions that you have. I hope you guys have an incredible morning. We are going to start school, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.